Hello, good afternoon. My name is Amazing Katamanda. Welcome to our Camnet Media News. Let's take a look at the stories that are making the headlines. TIZ condemns political interference in the recruitment of teachers. DP and PF justify failure to contest ward elections slotted for 30th June.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the ministry.
There's so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
Thank you for staying with us, and now the news in detail. Zambian Police Deputy Spokesperson Danny Mali has warned motorists in the habit of abrogating road traffic regulations and harassing road traffic officers to face full wrath of the law. In an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Mwale says the Zambian police has formally charged and arrested a man identified as Mr. Smart Piri, 29, for attempted murder of a traffic police officer after he drove dangerously, almost killing the police officer despite being stopped for abrogating traffic regulations.
A video has gone viral on social media where a police officer is seen hanging from the wipers of a Hino truck in an attempt to save his life as the truck is seen moving without making a stop. Zambia Police Deputy Spokesperson Mr. Danny Mwale has explained that the said incident happened on 7th June 2022 around 14 hours along Lumumba Kafua traffic lights as the traffic officer while regulating traffic was almost run over by the truck which did not stop despite being given a signal. Mr. Mwale says the truck which was being driven by a 29-year-old man identified as Smart Piri of Kamala South did not stop, forcing the police officer to hang onto the wipers for fear of being run over. He explains that in an attempt to save his life, the traffic officer jumped off the truck to the side, sustaining minor injuries.
He was rushed to Chawama Level 1 hospital where he was attended to and later discharged. Smart Piri did not stop the vehicle. Other motorists who were around the place managed to give a chase and impounded the vehicle.
Mr. Mwale has since cautioned motorists against disobeying traffic officers, warning of the full wrath of the law.
We are there to maintain law and order. We are not there to fight anyone. No. We are there to make sure that security, order prevails. People go around, do their businesses in an orderly manner. We are not there to fight anyone. So it's unfortunate that Smart Piri has landed himself in this situation. We will take him to court and he's going to explain for himself.
The accused has since been detained in police custody awaiting court appearance while his motor vehicle has been impounded. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Over 10 active political parties, only 3 have taken up the challenge to contest in the 30th ward by-elections in Mungu Western Province and Mukushi District. In an interview with Camnet News, Patriotic Front Media Director Antonio Mwanza says the PF's decision to stay away from these elections is a strategic move and not a sign that the party is sinking.
Former ruling political parties in Zambia often go into oblivion after the loss of an election. The case of the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy MMD and the United National Independence Party UNIP. The MMD during the 2021 general elections was not even among the top 5 as it polled 4,968 of the presidential polls, representing 0.10% of the total votes cast. The former ruling Patriotic Front is now under the microscope on whether it is headed in the same direction. A case in point is the 2-ward by-election set for 30th June of 2022 in Lumba ward of Mungu District and Shiso ward of Mukushi District. While the PF is participating in the Mukushi ward by-elections, it does not have a candidate in Mongu district. PF Media Director Mr. Antonio Mwanza, when questioned if this is a sign of the party slowly losing grip on the political scene, had this to say.
In the Central Province by-election, our candidate is Mr. Victor Kunda, and in Mongu we have deliberately, out of strategy, decided not to field a candidate. It doesn't mean in any way that the Patriotic Front as a political party is sinking. We are very intact and will participate in these elections, and we are very, very confident that we will win the by-election in Central Province.
Meanwhile, Democratic Party DP President Mr. Harry Kalaba, whose party is also not participating in the Mongu ward by-elections, says it was only due to technical challenges. He has also commented on the non-renewal of contracts for Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ Chairperson Justice Esau Chulu and his vice Emily Sikazwe.
And we were going to participate also in Mongu, but we had a challenge going in the planes, and by the time our team was reaching there, the time for filing in of nominations at the lapse. But those are administrative issues that we'll endeavor to work on and ensure that next time we are on course. And we hope that those who are coming to replace Judge Chulu will see and behave according to the levels that Judge Chulu has really set for our country. We don't want mediocrity to come at the electoral house here. We don't want people who are partisan to come at the electoral house here. We need to have people that will embrace Zambia.
Meanwhile, UPND National Youth Chairperson Mr. Gilbert Liswaniso has cautioned youths against engaging in violence in the two-ward by-elections.
I think that one is a clear picture which we have indicated to our provincial youth chairman, our district chairman, and also our constituency, that no violence in these areas. Let's work together. And the people living in those areas, they know each other, despite belonging to different political parties, but they live together. When there's funeral, they are together, so there's no need to go and fight. The people who have been adopted, there are people they live with in those areas, so there's nothing to go and fight. And we have demonstrated the use of UPND in the last by-election. No violence, people won an election on their own, they voted for their own candidate, we participated, no one was injured.
The two-ward by-elections have come about following the death of UPND councillor in Mongu district Mr. Akakelwa Wakumelo and the resignation of PF councillor in Mukushi district Mr. Xavier Tsenga in April of 2022. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Transparency International Zambia has called for a stop on political interference over the ongoing recruitment of 30,000 teachers by the Ministry of Education. TIZ Executive Director Myris Nyambe says inquiry into the matter established that, among the other things, the Anti-Corruption Commission ACC dispatched officers to all 116 districts to oversee the teachers' recruitment process to ensure uttermost integrity and to step out any inclination towards corruption.
Now we have heard allegations of government or ruling party officials submitting lists of their own or withdrawing lists that have been submitted to the Teaching Service Commission on the basis that the people on those lists were not deserving to be recruited. We would like to caution that political interference really does have the potential to undermine this entire recruitment exercise and to even cause a loss of public trust even in government interventions and programs going forward. So we would like to call on the UPND administration to see to it that they stamp out whatever form of impropriety may be taking place in the teacher recruitment exercise. The UPND was elected in part on the basis of the promise they made to the Zambian people that they were going to do things differently in every respect. And so we think that it would be a betrayal of the trust and aspirations of the Zambian people for the UPND to continue the anomalies that we have seen in the past in terms of such processes. So we really do challenge them and urge them to stamp this out and see to it that this process is alienated from the anomalies that we have witnessed in the past, because it is not going to be in anyone's interest for this process to be the subject of corruption and other forms of impropriety.
Minister of Education Douglas Yakalima says the ongoing teachers recruitment exercise in the country has been completed and that it was done in a transparent manner as all district officers were engaged. The minister, who updated Parliament Thursday on the ongoing teachers recruitment exercise, says he is not privy to any directive that the recruitment process in Southern Province was not transparently done and should not be stopped.
Anxiety has been on the rise among many unemployed teachers in the country who are anticipating to be among the 30,000 to be recruited in the ongoing teachers recruitment exercise, which received a total of 100,877 applications. And Minister of Education Douglas Yakalima Thursday updated Parliament on the ongoing recruitment exercise and has indicated that the process has been completed and that it was done in a transparent manner as all district administrative officers were involved.
Written letters to the district commissioners to play an oversight role of monitoring the entire process from the beginning to the end at district level were dispatched. I'm glad to report that when the teaching service commissioners went round countrywide to monitor the recruitment exercise, all the district commissioners confirmed their participation in the recruitment exercise accordingly.
But Wacha constituency member of Parliament Sydney Mushanga raised a point of order on government's position over Southern Province Minister Cornelius Mwitwa's statement that the recruitment process in Southern Province was not transparently done and should be stopped.
Now that there is that instruction from the Minister of Southern Province to have the list that was submitted be withdrawn, what is the status quo? And don't you think it is going to delay the announcing of the names?
In his response, the minister expressed ignorance over the matter.
The other things which happen outside, I'm not privy to. I have updated you, and this is what is obtaining as of now. And I have said the National Committee is updating and validating. So this is, you should reverse on what I have said and not what you heard elsewhere, because I'm not privy to such things from outside. Okay? So it is not true that statements have been made. I have only made two statements, the earlier one and the current one.
Parliament was, however, not short of drama when Wengwa member of Parliament Kasau Tumichelo raised a point of order to question whether Pambeshi member of Parliament Ronald Chitotela was in a position to dress in a manner in which he was.
And I'm seeing a member of Parliament for Pambeshi, Honorable Chitotela. Is he in order to come on the floor of this house dressed as if he's going to head cattle? Is he in order? Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
I think the jacket you have put on top, I think the honorable member is in order for the coat that he has worn. But the honorable member for Petauke Central is the one that is out of order. He has worn the same clothes that he wore yesterday. And this is an act of impunity on the floor of the House. These are the same clothes that you were, the First Deputy Speaker yesterday sent you out with. I think it's better you go out to dress appropriately.
For now, the waiting for unemployed teachers continues as the minister has not clearly indicated on which day the names will be publicized. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Former Konkola Copper Mines KCM provisional liquidator Milingolungu has argued before the Constitutional Court that the application by the state to ask the court to revise its decision of staying his criminal proceedings before the subordinate court is incompetent. This is in a case in which Mr. Milingolungu has sued the Government Drug Enforcement Commission and others seeking an order that his purported arrest is an abuse of criminal proceedings.
Former Konkola Copper Mines provisional liquidator Milingolungu has maintained his argument before the Constitutional Court that he was allegedly granted immunity, hence his purported arrest by the law enforcement agency is an abuse of criminal proceedings, according to his reply to the state submission to reverse the decision by the Constitutional Court to stay his criminal proceedings, Mr. Lungu submits that the application is incompetent. Recently, the Attorney General challenged the decision by the Constitutional Court Judge Martin Museluke to stay criminal proceedings before the Lusaka's Magistrate Court involving Mr. Lungu in a case he is accused of possessing property suspected of being proceeds of crime. In a notice of motion to reverse the said ruling, government argued that the single judge erred in law and misdirected himself when he stayed the criminal proceedings against Mr. Lungu before the subordinate court. However, in his latest submission before court, the former KCM liquidator argues that if government was dissatisfied with the ruling by the single judge, it should have appealed. He submits that the principle relating to the use of civil proceedings to stay criminal proceedings is unapplicable to the circumstance of the case, on ground that the proceedings before court are constitutional in nature and the court has the power to grant the stay of proceedings as an interim relief pending determination of his petition. In this case, Mr. Lungu, who is also a lawyer, wants the court to declare that the Director of Public Prosecutions, having granted him immunity against prosecution in matters relating to his performance as KCM provisional liquidator, his purported arrest and commencement of criminal proceedings are an abuse. In a petition filed before court, Mr. Lungu wants the court to grant him an order of prohibition directed at the Attorney General, Boyd Munalula, a senior investigative officer under the Anti-Money Laundering Unit of the Drug Enforcement Commission, and Administrator General, restraining them from investigating, arresting and prosecuting him in respect of his performance as provisional liquidator of KCM. He also wants the court to quash the Drug Enforcement Commission's decision to charge and arrest him on April 7, 2022 for possession of property reasonably suspected of being proceeds of crime. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
That item brings us to the end of our Camnet Media News, but before we go, let's take a look at the stories that made the headlines. TIZ condemns political interference in the recruitment of teachers. DP and PF justifies failure to contest ward elections slated for 30th June. That's all we had for you on our Camnet Media News. My name is Amazing Katamanda. Good afternoon.